Hello, 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 and welcome back to FRLT Season 3, and it is a tier of 4s. We're actually about to get going in the next few months. We're going to get going in the next minute or so, but as I was going to say, welcome to the stream here tonight. It is, as you can see in the title down below, it is time for China, round number 6 of the 4th season. Only 4 races left, including tonight. 3 races after this, round 7, 8, and 9. And those races are going to be... I sadly haven't got a calendar still for 4s, but I have got it here. We've now done Austria, Monza, Japan, Las Vegas. We then went for Christmas. Then we came back, and last week we did Qatar, and this week we are doing, of course, round 6 China. Next week we go for Bahrain, then we go for Belgium for round 8, and then Great Britain for round 9 as the finale. No break week. The break week is now gone due to time constraints. But yeah, that is that. We're going to be getting going in the next about 2-3 minutes time. So let me show you the track map. It is Shanghai, 5.451 kilometers, 3.387 miles, 16 turns, 2 DR zones down the pit straight and down that back straight, but only for about half of the back straight, I must say. Looking at the standings, TTRE continue their dominance, but a tough race in Qatar reduces the championship lead. It's down a bit more, down to just 44 points, splitting the top 2 now. So it is coming down. It came down a lot from about 60 points the last race round, 60, 70 points. XPG are now 3rd in the championship, pulling ahead of AB, VEL still at the bottom of the championship at the moment, only on 38 points, quite far behind. We're going to be heading up in 2 minutes' time. But yeah, as you can see, the championship is quite different this week because, of course, we've got, we have TTRE still quite far in the lead of the championship. Only 2 teams at the moment who have surpassed 100 points. That's TTRE and SET. XPG, massive race in Qatar, brought them back into the championship and up to 83 points, only 20 points behind SET. ABE... They're missing tonight again, by the way. No ABE for round 6, which completely almost annihilates their championship hopes. Probably going to drop down to about 100 points behind, which completely rules them pretty much entirely out of the championship. You can only score especially in 4s, because we have a different point system. You can score maximum 20 points as a single driver, so 20 points. Then I think it's 15 to 35. I think then it's 30, 35, 48. I think it's 48 then. It goes down to 11. So 48, 59. You can score 59 points. So they're almost entirely out of points contention at the moment. Even if they were to score double their points right now, they still would only come out 2nd in the championship. So they're not looking too good. And not racing again here tonight pretty much eliminates all of their championship hopes. We're going to be getting ready in the next minute or so. Yeah, so we'll have to see. We're waiting, I think, on a driver to join. We're waiting on somebody to join because EA is playing up all of a sudden and doesn't want to work. EA is not very happy at the moment. Very much being difficult. I need to find a driver who's disappointingly disappeared off of my list because EA never likes to work. Yeah, EA's not working. It's terrible. Yeah, so we're going to be getting ready in the next few moments. And hopefully we'll be having a decent night. But like you've seen, so the championship very split out at the moment. SET on a big push though towards TTRE. They're really pushing TTRE quite a bit more than they have in previous races. And so that's going to be the main thing. And we are readying up now. So finally we have reached the moment of readying up here tonight. We've reached that moment. But we're going to get into qualifying. It's, of course, a short qualifying, just 18 minutes, followed by a 28 lap race around the Shanghai circuit. China, one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar. Not many people are amazing at it or very good at it. A lot of drivers don't usually enjoy driving the track. Pretty much nearly nobody does, but it's bad news for the drivers because there is rain coming down here in China. There is rain. Shockingly enough, there is some rain coming down. Yeah. And now we are finally into qualifying. We finally made it. As you can see, 16 drivers. We are missing 4, I think. Because I've got to figure this out because I'm either wrong. And the team's got 5 drivers. Because we're still missing a Haas. Are we? Who are we missing? We're missing Lumi. Oh no, he's not in. Okay. Sorry, just give me a second because I'm having to quickly change something. Apologies, I'm having to quickly check something. I was having to double check a penalty quick. VEL do have a qualifying ban for tonight because of a late driver change. That's the only reason why. So they've only got 1 driver on a qualifying ban at the moment, so that's all right. The first driver out of track is a VEL driver, and that's Zalix, who's out onto the track at the moment. He's coming round in that Kick Sauber. It's going to be interesting. VEL, of course, quite far down in the championship, 38 points. They're currently 27 points adrift of the next team in front of them. Of course, 4th place ABU, who have missed a race as well, while VEL haven't. So they really do need a turnaround here tonight on their performance and what they can do, because at the moment they're not showing it perfectly. They haven't shown it well so far this race and this season. They've really struggled to find their performance, and last race a pointless race as well. Really, to some degree, it wouldn't have mattered whether they had a full 4 retirements or they just didn't score points, because of course they didn't. So it's a really rough race. But the first driver to start off a lap is Zalix. Thought he might have gone in, but let's ride on board with him as we start off his lap as he crosses the line, heading up towards the first part of the track, this snaky section off the pit straight, throwing the car through this first long right-hander, which tightens up just around that bump, as now it really tightens up through here, slowing down quite a bit. Now into the next corner, to the curb a bit too much. He's got a little bit risky there. Still pushing, sliding on the exit of the corner though, and now heading towards the end of Sector 1, and ending off Sector 1 with that kink into now the next corner. 90-degree right-hander, quite a challenging right-hander though. You can't really use a lot of the exit, as Zalix finds out. Now heading round into the fast left and right. Usually this is pretty much flat out in dry conditions. Of course it is in dry conditions. You then got to slow down and brake quite hard for this next 2 corners. Double left-hander. Both exactly the same actually, as Zalix runs off the track, but heading up towards the next corner. You can see throwing it into a hairpin-like sort of left-hander now through the long, winding right-hander. You can spin it very easily, as Zalix is finding. He's struggling to find any grip on his lap at the moment. Heading down this long back straight and the main straight. No DRS, of course, so he's just got to run with the speed he's got. This might prove difficult because this is where we're going to really see the differences in top speed between the drivers and teams and setups they've gone for. Zalix struggling to get the car turned into the hairpin. Now, up towards the final corner. You've got to get it right through here. And actually, he has. Lowered the sliding on the rear. But as Zalix crosses the line, it's a 1 minute 41.760, which is the time to beat. It's immediately beaten by TTRE. I know it says EV, but Theodore Anderson for TTRE, who go into first, 1 minute 40.161, a lot faster on his lap. I think we have a Mercedes coming around, yes. But the next one is actually Spinala King, another TTRE driver pushing on his lap. Everybody's on the intermediates for the moment, so I think that's an interesting thing to see. And across the line, Spinala King goes second. Sonic now goes second, right into the 1 minute 40.1s as well, just 33 thousandths behind Theodore Anderson, so really close behind there, and that is an incredible lap. Snoo for VEL coming in very strong there, coming into P3. It's Wooder struggling on his lap, only a 1 minute 41.5 is what he could muster across the entirety of the lap. We got C. Soilek coming round for VEL, another kick Sauber. Let's see what he can do into the final corner. He drifts a bit wide, but across the line, it is quite fast. It is second fastest front row, just beating Sonic to the line, but it is ultimately 19 thousandths behind Theodore Anderson, and things are getting really close. Unai Vega, who of course has quite a bit of controversy in the community, but he goes only P7, far off for the pace. Second slowest of them all for the moment. Not what he was really looking for here tonight. Really not what he was looking for, I must say. I think we've got somebody coming up to the line. We'll figure who that is next. I think that is Tian Boats. He's up to the line, but he invalidated. It was only a 48 anyway, so not even a good lap time in the end. We got OC72 coming up to the line for TTRE. Let's see what he can do when he crosses the line. It is P6, just behind his teammate Spinala King. Spinala King does follow behind, but not slipstream, as that is not allowed. So they're playing quite nicely today. Next, XPG Sem. XPG on a roll, push themselves up to third in the constructors. Across the line, it's P6 as well, splitting TTRE drivers. Exactly what he needed here tonight. We've got Snoo coming up to the line. He's on a slow run, though, so he's not particularly got the pace behind him. Bourbon Boy ultimately has a bit of a problem, and he has to go into the pits as he invalidated on his lap, as Pavanir now retires from the session. I think we got somebody coming up to the line. I think that's Yago. He's coming in since he's invalidated. It's Wooder is starting another lap. He's staying out on those tyres. He feels like he's good enough to stay out on those tyres. Unai Vega also starting off a new lap. Let's see what Unai Vega can do on his run. I think we got Josh. Josh would have been slowest there as well. So not everybody walking away too well with it. I think we got Theodore Anderson, who is improving. He's going to go to a 1 minute 40.057, finding about a tenth in his lap time. It's not a huge amount in these wet conditions, but it is a small amounts of time that are going to count towards the end of the session. And that is interesting. I think we just saw Tian Boats go into P4 there. SCT proving everybody wrong. Last season, they came out as the slowest team in Tier 2. Slowest team in fours across an entire season. They came out as the slowest team. This season, they're up there, currently second in the constructors, and at least the second fastest team. At the moment, what looks like to be on average the fastest team out there for now, which is it's an interesting difference to see with these guys, is how they are sort of changing and what's sort of changing with them. It's Wooder is improving massively. He's up by 7/10 in the middle sector. Up to the line, it's going to be P6. Still 4/10, about 3.5 off of his teammate for the moment. So he's still quite a bit behind. We've got Josh coming round. He is on a fast lap, but it's not that fast because it is going to be a couple of seconds off of the pace. So 1 minute 44.691. Doesn't seem to be able to hook up the lap for the moment. Madeline coming into the final corner. I think he's going to be going on another push lap. But this is what I mean. I think we've got the SET duo coming round. It's Sonic who's starting a lap, and Tian's coming into the pits. Is it Sem who we've got coming round? No, it isn't. It's Bourbon Boy who is on an out lap at the moment. Then it will be Sem on a lap. He's improving by about 3.5 so that could see him up into 6th place at the moment. That's where he'll sit. 6th in the order. Exactly where you sort of want to sit as well. You want to be around 6th place. And that's worked for XPG last week, you know, sort of being in that top 6. As XPG Sem P2, he finds a lot of time in that final sector, and that is one hell of a fast lap time as he goes onto the front row. XPG making it back-to-back races that they are in form and they are pushing for this championship. We know that they've not been the luckiest team in FRLT history. They've competed in every season, never finding a sort of a big trophy. They've never found the #1 position, but they are trying to find it now, and they're trying to push with the final few races to go. I think we got a Sauber on a lap. I think we got somebody pushing. I think it's Wooders coming into the pits. Josh coming up to the line. What is he going to set? He's going to set a new fastest time of the session. 1 minute 40.045. Lap times are coming down. They are coming down incredibly slowly, but they are still coming down. You can see the average gap is absolutely closing down. P6 from Maslin now. The rain is starting to reduce, which is, I think, the main reason why we're seeing this. Sonic goes fastest by an absolute mile. 8/10 faster. 3/10 faster, I think I saw in the middle sector alone. And he goes to a 1 minute 39.364. Now, Bourbon Boy goes even faster. 1 minute 38.790. Holy. These times are something else here tonight. Drivers really putting in the performance. Yago invalidating again. Whoa! Dive bomb from the XPG driver. That was Sem. Oh my god. Holy. Somebody's very eager to get into the pits. Zalix. He's proven by about 1.2 seconds at the moment in the middle sector. That's going to currently send him up to only P12. So he's only gained 2 places from it. Look at the difference. There's only 2 drivers in the 1 minute 41s. One driver without a lap time. There's only 2 drivers in that 1 minute 41. So at the moment, you know, that's going to go down to just 1 driver left in the 1 minute 41s. And across the line, Zalix goes P3. Pretty solid there from himself. I think we've got Maslin. No, we don't. We have one of the... Is that Sonic? That's Tian who's coming across the line. Zalix. No, that was Soilek across the line. Soilek goes into P2. 1 minute 39.175. Beating Sonic in the end. Just getting that little bit further out in front. This is interesting to see the strategy that's going on. VEL going for a different timing, putting them P2 and P4 at the moment, but also putting their other 2 drivers, Snoo and Pavanir, in P8 and P16 and last. So there's a bit of a mix going on. Snoo is starting a lap. Trying to find a driver who isn't starting a lap, who's on a lap. Bourbon Boy's coming in. I think it's OC coming in as well. Yeah, OC72 still 13th in the grid. TTRE really struggling currently. 12th and they're at the moment 6th, 11th, 12th and 13th. This would be a terrible finish for them this week. It is looking miserable for TTRE once again. It's looking like almost like Qatar again. This is not what a team wants. Zalix is slowly heading round. I think we got Tian Boats, who's going to be the next driver to cross the line. He's got to rush down this straight as fast as he can. I think, is he saving? Is he pushing? I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he is saving to go for another lap. I'm actually not sure. I think he is saving to go for another lap, or he's going to come in. Is he? I have no clue what he's doing. No, he is going to cross the line, and it's going to be an improvement. 8/10. He goes ahead of Sonic into P3. Solid lap there from himself. Spinala King improving by almost a second. But in the end, he's not happy with it, and he's going to come into the pits. So, RTTRE just getting clamped down on a bit. Their form falling away after Christmas. They've really had a... Last time round, we had a break week. You know, in season 2. In season 2, we had... They came back and they won. This time round, they're looking like they're really struggling to find form. Snoo is invalidated. But I must say, it's an incredible struggle for form. You can see Sem's also coming in from an outlap. But yeah, it's a very... I will say it's a very odd drop in form. It's not a drop in form I'm used to seeing. As you can see, it's Wooder only up by about 2/10 in the middle sector. But yeah, TTRE really strangely off the pace, you know, being 7th, 11th, 12th and 13th. You know, the day isn't getting better for them. They're off for the pace. Let's see what It's Wooder does when he crosses the line. He's up by 9/10 and he goes P5. But how long will that stay P5 for? That's my question. Because it might not stay there for very long. I think we've got Josh who's coming round. He's the next driver on a lap. Is it Unai Vega? Yes, Unai Vega's the next driver to actually finish a lap here tonight. Running down the lovely, lovely pit, the back straight into the hairpin. He goes. The Red Bull looking pretty stable, but sitting at the bottom of the grid, 14th and 15th for the moment. Needs a massive improvement and invalidates on the final corner. What would have it been when he crossed the line? It would have actually put him in P3. So Unai Vega actually on a decent lap there. So it wasn't just a sort of an almost decent run. Tian Boats decides to retire, so that is his session over. He hasn't got a choice. Now, his session is now over. He will be staying in P3, as we know Pavanir will also stay P16. So who's going to find some time in the final sector? Diago, who's going to be the first driver to cross the line for his final lap. He won't be able to make it round for another lap in this session, so he's got to make this one count. So let's see what he can do. Unless he saved up ERS, it's taking a tight line into the hairpin, which seems to work. The Red Bull really liking that tight line. SCT really liking to take that tight line. And through the final corner, he goes a little bit wide, but stays on. And he goes P3. SCT, 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the moment. Let's see who is next. It's Wooder is coming round. He's going to be coming in. Or is he going to be pushing? He's going to be pushing for another lap. I'm trying to figure out who's doing what. Spinala King also on an out lap. Is it Josh? It's not Josh. I'm trying to figure out who's where. I think Josh is going to be the next driver to cross the line on a lap. Let's see how he's going to do. The man who set the fastest time at the start, by the way, Theodore Anderson, is now P9. With what was the fastest time after 8 or 9 minutes. I think after 10 minutes in the session. But here comes Josh up to the line. He's going to go P2. Slots in very nicely there. Incredible lap set. That's exactly what he needed. OC72 starting his final run. That's not Unai Vega. Iago is the one currently leading this group. Then it's Wooder who's gone off the track. Has he given up? I don't know if he has or if he hasn't. He's quarter of a second down. I don't think he's going to be setting a new lap time. So we can now pretty much cut off Yago, Tian Boats, It's Wooder as well. A lot of drivers getting absolutely beaten around by this track at the moment, as now qualifying is over. 2 drivers already finished on their runs. We know Yago is going to come in he's going to cross the line anyway, and he is going to end off the session P4, first driver to cross the line. We've then got It's Wooder. He's not improving on his lap. He's going to go miles off, so that is his lap done. Then I think we have Spinala King, who is up by about a second in his lap time. Could set him really well. He goes across the line and goes P2. And brilliant lap there, set by himself. I think it's Josh. No, it wasn't. It was Maslin who went there. Now, Theodore Anderson, P2. What a lap set. And now, Bourbon Boy, even faster. Sonic goes into P5. Solid lap set there. We're waiting for the rest to cross the line. We'll have to figure out. As Snoo goes P3. And I think that was Sem who just crossed the line. Unai Vega went 13th. And OC72. I'm not sure which position he finished in. He finished in 15th. And he will be at the back of the grid out of all of the drivers who set a lap. Every driver did set a lap. Except Pavanir. But here is the order for the race. Bourbon Boy is on pole position by almost half a second, followed by Theodore Anderson, Snoo, Spinala King, Josh, SET Sonic, Soilek, Yago, Tian Boats, and It's Wooder in P10. Maslin 11th, Zalix in 12th, Unai Vega in 13th, Sem in 14th, OC72 in 15th, and Pavanir starting at the back of the grid. We'll be readying up in about 2 minutes' time. In just over 2 minutes' time, we'll be readying up very shortly. You have to give drivers time to choose their setups, to choose what they want. And, to go with what they need. And at the moment, it's going to be interesting to see what all the drivers choose and what all the drivers want to go for here tonight, because it is one of these races. It is one of these races where it is difficult to predict. It's difficult to know what the drivers are thinking, what strategy they want to go for. Yeah, it's just one of these races. So I think tonight is going to be an interesting one. Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be an interesting one. But I think we're getting going. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in China for round number 6 of FRLT 4s in Season 3. And it's a good getaway by Theodore Anderson, who takes the lead immediately away from Bourbon Boy. Can't even reach turn 1. And TTRE already lead away here tonight, and that is the start that they needed. There's a lot of commotion happening further back, and there is a slow car. It's Wooder, it's round. There's a collision happening further back. It's between 3 drivers. It's Josh, it's Wooder, and Soilek, who's all had a moment. Pavanir already up into the points. Look at that. Tian Boats having a bit of a problem. Yago fighting up into 4th and battling with TTRE championship rival teams. Battling away, and this is all going crazy. Sem as well, going round, trying to go round the outside of Tian Boats. Down the inside he goes. Is there going to be a switch back here? Tian Boats, does he get it? No, he doesn't. He's not able to make the move back. And so we look to the leader, Theodore Anderson, who leads away in the Aston Martin. He's pulling further and further away. He is on the medium tyre, so he has that advantage here and right now. As you can see, here are the tyres. Everybody's on hard except Yago and Theodore Anderson, the 2 lone drivers who have stayed out on the mediums, trusting the medium tyres. But it is a great start from Theodore Anderson, who's gotten away from Bourbon Boy pretty nicely, and he's almost already at that second gap. We can see OC72 getting past Unai Vega for P12 on track. SET, one driver outside of the top 10, all of the other three all within it, and that is exactly what they need, while TTRE have two drivers outside of the top 10 for the moment, and this is perfectly where they want them, and this is how they need them to be. But we still watch the leader, Theodore Anderson, pull away a little bit more, but Bourbon Boy, I think he's starting to find his comfort zone on the tyres already, because you can see that gap's actually come down by about a tenth and a half, now about a tenth, but it's sort of come down slightly so far through this lap. So I think Bourbon Boy's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with his tyres, and I think Theodore Anderson might be feeling the pressure really early on from the XPG driver. But the big thing here is, can XPG fully take hold of this championship? Can they really take hold of a championship push? Because at the moment, it's not looking great. They have one driver outside the top 10. Currently, they're only 8th, 7th, and of course, 2nd. So they're not in the best of positions for the moment. I mean, when you look at it, there's only, they're only scoring sort of 8 points from 7th and 8th. And then they are scoring another, 15 from 2nd. So only 23 points. So it's a big push. It will take them to over 100 points. But is it what they need? No, what they need is to be scoring more, as OC72 now pulls up into 11th place. But on to lap number 3 we go. Bourbon Boy is going faster. He's got that DRS, remember, as well. So he's going to have that strength now down the straights. We see Soilek, he's going quite slow. He's struggling a bit on his tyres. And that is exactly what you don't want to see. You really don't want to be seeing that for the moment. That's the worst thing you can have. I think that's the worst thing he's really having right now. You can see Zalix, by the way, having a bit of a moment. Yeah, Zalix has also had a moment. VEL, not getting away with anything here tonight. All this season, down to 15th and 16th for the Saubers. Sounding a little realistic to real life, being at the back of the grid. But now, look at this. Bourbon Boy, Yago, both have now caught up. It's now a 3-way fight. Could turn into a much longer fight. Could turn into a 4 or 5-way fight as soon as Snoo and Spinala catch up. Flame has just joined. He might be a little late, I think. But now, heading round. Down the back straight now. Will we see him change for the lead here on lap 3? I think we will. Bourbon Boy chasing down the lead all he can. Pavanir's had a moment as well. What is happening? There is a change. Yago's going for it. He's gone for it. Down the inside goes Yago into the hairpin. The double overtake has worked for the SCT driver. And up into the lead goes SCT once again. And that is a move that I think we'll have to look back on quite a bit. But that is exactly what SCT need here tonight. I think the one good thing that this is really doing is that Yago can almost be a team player here now. He can slow down the grid a bit, allow Sonic to get into the fight, allow TM Boats to catch up a bit, and then have a bit of a fight. Pavanir now retires from the session. First retirement of the night. Incredible disappointment. It's got to be incredibly frustrating so early to be out of a race. And it looked like he just spun it, so the hard tyre is really not working for him. But it is our first retirement here in China, and it's disappointment there. Heading round into the end of the middle sector as we head towards the third and final sector here on lap 4. The laps are starting to count down. I can't lie, they're counting down quite quick. Feels only like 1 minute ago we were on lap 1, but it's been a little while. Now he's heading round. Yago heading down once again this back straight. Racecraft is exactly what you need here in China. He's not going to put up a fight against Theodore Anderson. Will Bourbon Boy try to get him though? No, he's not. He's going to leave him. He doesn't want to make a move. He wants to keep it the same. Still, as you watch now down the pit straight, by the way, Yago back into the lead. This is crazy what's happening here. You know, I think we're seeing racecraft coming on top of pace, because as long as you can just about keep up, as long as you can keep up with these guys, I think you're all right. I don't think you'll have any problems with racing. I think you'll just be okay, and you'll just be able to get through the race and everything. Because I think racecraft on this year's game especially has proven to be a larger part of racing than just pace, just pure pace. You know, we see in real life races where we see, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10-second leads in the races. That's pace. But here you could see it's a lot more about racecraft and being able to defend and attack, and timing, especially strategy. And we're seeing a lot of that because the top 8 all within a second of each other from car to car. I think that's Unai Vega who's round. Yes, it is Unai Vega round. His night not getting any better. SET struggling in some areas, but they're still on for a win here tonight. Unai Vega gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Now it changes once again for the lead. It is Theodore Anderson into the lead. Bourbon Boy tries to go around the outside of Yago. Is it going to work? They're still going side by side into the final corner they go. Ultimately, Bourbon Boy holds onto the lead over Yago. He's going to hold on to that P2 and hold off the Red Bull. And this time, Yago drops down to P3 and doesn't reclaim the lead. This is interesting to see. There's more battling going on between the top 3 than we've seen sort of across the rest of the grid. I think, to be fair, I think we've pretty much seen 9th and downwards, so very much almost entirely on their own. We've got a bit of racing, though, further back. We've got Unai Vega versus It's Wooder. Title rival versus title rival. We've got a proper race going on here. Unai Vega trying to go around the inside, and It's Wooder around the outside. Ultimately, I must say, very clean racing, giving each other good space into the next corner. 90-degree right-hander. Can Unai Vega hold it? Yes, he does. He's able to hold on to it. He's still battling this, even now. Even through here, we've gone through pretty much the entire first sector and half of the middle sector now, and they're still side by side, heading through to the next corner. Has he got it? Yes, Unai Vega makes up the move to P12. We're turning our eyes to the lead. I think we're going to be seeing another swap. Are we going to see Bourbon Boy return to the lead for the first time since the pit straight on lap 1? Still, no. We're still not seeing Bourbon Boy get up into that lead. It's a really frustrating situation I think he's in, and I think we've got a move going on between XPG teammates, actually. Maslin and Sem both fighting over P7. They're having a good old battle over just 5 points at the moment in this race. But they're also having a bit of a battle with Sonic, who they really want to get past, and they really need to get past at the moment because they need to gain some points over SET tonight. And at the moment, they're not going to be gaining any points. They're gaining no points, I do believe, over SET, or they're just getting a very sort of 3-4 points in a 20-point gap. You know, very small, not really going to make a huge difference. Heading down towards the left and right-handers, the long left and right-handers. Theodore Anderson still leading, by the way. He's the first driver who's made it past the back straight to continue leading, so it's an interesting one to see there. Don't usually see it. It's Wooder making a move on Soilek for 13th. And he's now down. You can see Soilek has caught up a bit to this battle, going on for P12 for the moment. Only driver with a penalty is Unai Vega. He's the only one with a penalty for the moment. We'll have to see as the race goes on, as it is quite early. Josh up into P10, by the way, already pulling ahead as Bourbon Boy finally, after 7 laps, almost entire 7 laps of waiting, he now pulls up into the lead. You can see a bit of battling going on further back for P6. Still, Maslin unable to make the move past Sonic. One driver I'm quite interested by is actually Spinarlicking here in P5. He sat here very quietly. And TTRE have been rather quiet. Yeah, they've got Theodore Anderson fighting for the lead, but all of their other drivers not having a great day. 11th, 13th. You know, It's Wooder out of a chance of points without going into pits. Now even less of a chance with the 3-second time penalty. Spinala King sitting there, they're currently, they're looking at about, I think, 28 points as it stands with Theodore Anderson and Spinala King. So they're looking at a good 28 points, extending their championship lead a bit further. SCT, I think, has got the better of them for the moment. And XPG, I think, have got more points for the moment, but it's still going to be an interesting one to see as the race goes on, because basically Spinala King and Theodore Anderson have to make sure they finish as high as they can. And it's not just purely because racing, that's how racing works, but because it's about the long game. They had a poor race in Qatar. They need to bring that back a little bit more. They need to get that leader back a little bit more from Qatar, what they would have possibly gained, or even just level out, even if they had leveled out last race, just bring it back a bit. But you see, every time, like, for instance, Theodore Anderson drops down, as we can now see, Yago down the inside of Theodore Anderson, trying to make the move work. He's unable to make the move work, and it's actually Snu who is going to make the move, whoa, and off the track they go! Wheel clipping, wheel banging, Spinala King now up into P3. And as I was going to say, so every time a driver drops down, the total points for the team drops down, and that kind of goes through your mind. And immediately, for Spinala King, it's going up and up and up. And that is exactly what he needs. OC72 now retires. One TTRE driver out, and chances of points disappearing. Disappointment there. TTRE down to 3 drivers now and only 2 in the points. But they are second and third for the moment, and this should make for a little bit more of easy battling. As you can see, heading round into the middle sector, they're flying round the track, I must say. They are really flying around. They've really got the pace here at the moment. Heading up towards the final sector now. Bourbon Boy leads for XPG. XPG looking to take another victory, back-to-back wins. No team, by the way, this season has taken multiple wins. Only TTRE, who have 4. They're the only other team, I should say, than TTRE. No other team has done it other than TTRE to get multiple wins. They've got 4. XPG fighting for their second win of the season and their championship charge. It would really hurt, I think, TTRE if it didn't. And we got a massive... Whoa, that's a Ferrari round in the background. That's actually Sem. That's Sem. He's round. He's in the wall. XPG's hopes disappearing. Oh my god. XPG hopes disappearing more and more as he crashes into the wall in pure anger. Holy. Virtual safety car is now out. Holy. I think we're going to see another retirement here. It's actually a full safety car, by the way. It's a full safety car. This is going to change things up a lot. Everybody's going to get bunched up. Are we going to see early pit stops? This might actually work for Theodore Anderson and Bourbon Boy. Not Bourbon Boy, but also for Yago, who are on the medium tyres. This might actually work incredibly well because they can just shift over to the hards now, while drivers like Bourbon Boy, Spinala King, everyone else can't, because they're on the hard tyres, and they'll have to go longer. They'll have to go to about lap 18. About lap sort of 18, maybe at earliest 16, to put on the medium tyres. So this actually might work perfectly for Yago and Theodore Anderson. So maybe we could be seeing a complete change, but we'll have to see when we come round to the pit, because the drivers are going round. They have a certain pace they're allowed to go, but they are going around quite slowly. They have to stay within the delta time, so they have to roll around very, very slowly through a lot of the corners. But then they're going to rush into the pits, and who's going to go where? Some teams might have to double stack, and into the pits they go. See everybody pushing it. Is anybody staying out? That's the big question. I haven't seen nobody staying out for the moment. My question is, what is Bourbon Boy going to? He is going to mediums. He's decided to jump to the medium tyres. He's got to go long on those medium tyres. Snoo, also I think we're seeing the medium tyres go onto the Haas. But this leaves Theodore Anderson on the better tyres. It's left him on the better tyres, on the stronger tyres. And that is something you don't usually see. And that could be a massive strategy mistake for instance, everybody else, is that they're on almost the wrong set of tyres. If there isn't another safety car, drivers like Bourbon Boy will really struggle. He's struggled to get his head into the game sort of really from lap 1. He has not had a good race. It's really fallen apart for him. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. Let's see what is going to happen as they head round. I think this is going to be an interesting moment to see. It's how the drivers cope with this change. This also allows 5 drivers, by the way, to close back up to the grid. At least another 4 drivers to close back up to the grid. Not sure about Zalix, but probably just another 4 drivers. Which means another 4 drivers are in this battle. But if we have a look, let's have a quick look at the tyres now. Tyres mostly mediums. 2 drivers on the hards, Theodore Anderson and Yago. They might not have the better of the starts. But we'll have to see as they go on. Penalties. Only 2 drivers have penalties. That is Unai Vega and it's Wooder. Looking at the position changes, though, the best driver in position changes is actually tied between Sem and Maslin. Both XPG drivers as well, so this is an interesting one. It is a very interesting one to see. There's a bunch of people getting bunched up further back. But yeah, sorry about me pausing it sometimes. It is purely because I'm trying to sort some things. I had some questions. Stuff. So essentially, yeah, this is an interesting moment, sort of, to see that. But I must say, must give it to the XPG drivers for gaining that many places. The biggest team for losing places has been Josh, who's lost 4 for the moment. Josh has lost 4 this race. Same as Soilek. It's Wood has lost 3. So some drivers have really not come away well here tonight. Some drivers really struggling to find where they want to be and where they don't want to be. We see a bit of a commotion happening further back. TM Boats, I think, just jumped another Williams to get up to 8th. I'm not sure how he's doing it, but he has gotten up to 8th. I think it might have been a moment from Josh, which does allow another point to be gained for SET here tonight, and a point lost for XPG. So an interesting thing to see there, but it will be Theodore Anderson who leads us away on lap number 12, going on to lap number 13. TTRE have led the most laps. They've had, I think, 3 Grand Slams, or at least 2 Grand Slams. This season, I believe, they've had, I think, 2 Grand Slams this season. Don't quote me on it, but they've had 2 Grand Slams, and they have been completely unbeatable this season with their drivers. They've had their drivers getting Grand Slams all the time. But we're going to see now, Theodore Anderson leads the grid away. He can go whenever he wants. When is he going to go? He's leaving it really late to go. Whoa, and there's a car off. That's Yago who's actually gone off there. He's going to drop down really far. And that's actually dropped him down to P11. He's outside of the top 10. He's dropped down really, really far. That's a terrible start for him. It's a terrible start for Itzwiller because he's also not gotten away too well because he wasn't even able to catch up. As now, Theodore still leads away. Got tons of penalties, massive penalties being given. 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags given to both Josh and Sem. XPG will be looking probably to get those penalties changed. As now we head through, you can see a bunch of battling further back. Look at this. Somebody's round. That's Maslin who's round. XPG's day just gets worse and worse for them. It's really getting bad for XPG now because they've now dropped down to 13th. One of the drivers once again outside of the top 10. But VEL back up into the points. They'll climb to 40 points at the moment. But now, okay, going through the order again. Whoa! And Sonic's round! Sonic is round, so is Sem. Both drivers round. And oh my god, the chaos that is taking place here is just all over the place. But we've got to look to the lead and to the leader. Theodore Anderson battling with Bourbon Boy. It's TTRE versus XPG. We've also got a bit of VL in the background on top of also the other TTRE driver, Spinala King, into the final corner. It's going to be a compromised exit for Theodore. Down the pit straight, he goes on to lap 14. He leads once again. He's led for about, I think, 6 or 7 laps now. TTRE counting up the number of laps led. And into the first section of corners they go. And we've got a bit of racing. Snoo versus the man of Spinala King trying to go round the outside. It does not work for him for now. It's Wooder now retires in the pit lane. Disappointment there. Another TTRE driver out. Oh, squeezing from Snoo on Josh. That might be a post-race penalty from the stewards. But I have to see whether it gets reported or not. Still, things are going a little bit mental and a little bit crazy. Everybody's just trying to find where they're happy with the car. See a lot of people taking very different racing lines as well, which means everybody's trying to predict each other for braking distances and everything. And that's another moment between SCT and XPG. Sem in the wall and Yago in the wall. Oh, Yago with so much promise in the wall and down to P13 in last. This day not helping for either of the teams and just allowing TTRE to pull further ahead as Sem now retires and causes another safety car. He caused the first one. He's caused another one. Holy. What is going on? What is going on? But this is going to change the order up again. This is going to change the order up again because it's going to cause pit stops. And you can see some people coming in. Bourbon Boy, Snoo, Sonic, Unai Vega, all in. Disappointments. Disappointments, I must say. A lot of disappointments for drivers and teams. SCT's day not getting a lot better. 10th, 11th and 12th for 3 of their drivers. And the other one is 4th. That's Tiam Boats on his debut. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, make sure to click on that notification bell to know about all of the content we do. Also, big thanks to our affiliates, SRC. The link to their Discord server is down below. It should be down below. If it isn't, let me know. Also, if you want to join our Discord server and see some of the behind-the-scenes action, please make sure to go and join Discord link down below. That is working this week. I've got it working finally. I've got it working. Now, the head round again. We're waiting for 2 cars to catch up. That's actually Bourbon Boy and Yago to catch up to the safety car. I think we'll go for another lap. I think they'll catch up by then. Which should be nice to see. 12 drivers left, 4 drivers out, 2 TTRE, 1 VEL, and 1 XPG. Oof. Quite an interesting sort of set. We've got currently 3 teams who've lost drivers now out of the 4 here tonight. AB unable to race once again for the 2nd time this season means they will now face a points deduction in their championship. Heading round. Theodore Anderson has now led for, I think, about 10 laps of this race. Non-stop. He hasn't lost the lead in about 10 laps' time. And that's... I know a lot of this has been behind the safety car, but I have to say it's quite strange to see how TTRE didn't lead a single lap, I believe, in Qatar. And now they come back to leading once again. But they're not out of the woods yet, because they've still got... Josh, they've still got Tian Boats, they've still got quite a few drivers and quite a long race, quite a long way to go in this race, I should say, until it ends, until that checkered flag, if I could say any words properly, until that checkered flag comes out and drivers can cross the line for one final time and take those points. Safety car is in this lap, all 12 drivers all together. It's been chaos before. It's going to be chaos again. Let's see what will happen as they start. Once again, as the safety car rushes its way around. It doesn't look like it's rushing, but it definitely is. As it rushes its way around back to the pits. Drivers slowly make their way round to start the race once again, as we'll be going on to lap number 17 with just 11 laps remaining of this race. What is going to happen? By the way, guys, I also want to point something out very quickly. We've already surpassed the amount of views this stream as we did last stream when we ended the stream. So thank you guys for the huge amount of support. It's really appreciated. It's really appreciated. It's great to see us getting our numbers back up after Christmas. But here we go. Theodore Anderson leads them away for a 2nd time in this race. Let's see, when is he going to go? He's going to go now. He's actually going before the call. No, he isn't. He's waiting. He's still waiting. He's going now. He's left it really late again. He's left it right up to the line. But he's got an amazing getaway. Look at Spinarlicking blocking all over, trying to defend his teammate all the way he can. Sorlek getting past his teammate Zalix. Don't mind the safety car sign because it is just a glitch. Maslin up to P6. He's battling with Zalix over this position, trying to go round the outside. Has he got the VEL driver? Yes, he does. And that's up to P6 he goes. And that's a good move for XPG. That's exactly what they need. They need to be fighting for this. And into the next corner. Whoa! 3 wide. And there's a moment for Josh as well. It allows Tian Boats into P3 and onto the podium for SET. Exactly what they need and exactly what SET is looking for in their championship charge. But it's currently 1-2 for TTRE. They're on for a massive, massive points haul here tonight. They're on for, I think, at the moment, if I stand correct, they're on for 18. They're on for about, I think they're on for about 33 points at the moment. So, you know, we need to see SET get it because at the moment they're on for just a very small 18 points. So it's a big difference here. But heading down the back straight, you can see, is there going to be TTRE tension into the hairpin? Are we going to see some racing moves? We're seeing some racing moves further back. It's Bourbon Boy who's making his way through the order quite quickly, I must say. Already up, fighting for P8, already fighting for those 3 points. And up into P8 he goes. He's on an absolute slaughter through the grid. He's making his way up as now DRS is now enabled here on lap number 18 once again. And everybody's underway. You can see some side-by-side racing between Sonic and Maslin. Maslin and Sonic have been practically stuck to each other. Whoa! Down the inside goes Bourbon Boy. Tries to make the move. Tries to make an opportunistic move, I must say. But the space was not given. The space did not particularly have to be given either. He was just hoping and praying he could make it through. But in the end, he has. You can see further back, Unai Vega also trying to make his way past Zalix into the points. He's going to try and get his way past. He does, and up into 1 point position he goes. And that's exactly what he'd be looking for here tonight. You can see Bourbon Boy struggling a little bit to make his way through the order. Not as quickly as I thought he was. As now, Spinala King makes his way down into Sector 3. He's putting in some decent sectors as well. He's ahead of Theodore Anderson. Let's see, can he go to the end of this lap ahead of Theodore Anderson? Because if he does, he'll be the first driver to actually be ahead of... Actually be, I think, if I'm correct, he'll be the third or fourth driver to lead tonight's race, by the way. He would be the third or fourth driver to lead this race. So, quite a few drivers leading here tonight. Josh trying to get up into P3, giving Tian Boots a little bit of a problem. As you can see, VL Soilek trying to hold on to his P5. He's going to have to let go of one. He's not letting... Oh! And he's getting dragged off into the wall by his own teammate! He's getting dragged off into the wall by his own teammate, Snoo. That is a mental moment to see. But Maslin now captures that P5. As now they have to close in by over 2 seconds to catch up to this podium battle. But as it stands, Maslin will finish in P4. Sonic gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting and gaining 2 places. So a massive penalty to Sonic. He'll be hoping to get that removed after the race. Snoo once again now battling with Unai Vega. But what is going on at VL? They're completely attacking each other with no hesitation. And that was, I think, a little bit too aggressive towards his teammate from Snoo. And these are the sort of things you can't be having as a team. You can't be having drivers doing that. You know, you just cannot be having that. In any sort of way, you can't. There's just no way you can allow that. Now, once again, heading down, Sonic makes a move for P5. They are closing in. He's closing in on his teammate Tian Boats for P4. And for the podium fight, you can see Sam has disconnected. He's left anyway. He was retired, so I thought he might have been racing. But it's gotten a little bit quieter now. But the battle is definitely on. Nobody's pulling away from each other. The top 4 truly in a battle sequence here. 4 drivers all battling for the win. Josh will hope to get his penalty for ignoring yellow flags removed. Probably could get his penalty removed, which could be a massive thing, because this could lead to a battle over the podium, a true battle over the podium, and it could be racing for position here. But Spinala King still leads the way. TTRE continuing to lead. About 14 laps later, they've led a massive chunk of this race now. They've led almost every single lap. I think they haven't crossed the line 3 times in the lead. So, 3 or 4 times in the lead. So, really, TTRE on a dominant day. As now, once again, Bourbon Boy trying to have a battle. Maslin lets by his teammate. Maslin actually lets everybody by. Has he given up? Has he just given up? Did he make a mistake and has he just let everybody by? That's a massive moment for XPG, because they've now just lost another point scorer. So down to just 2 drivers who currently win the points. They could make that third, but it would still only be for 1 point. Heading down the back straight once again. Under attack is Theodore Anderson from Josh. Not able to make a move. Hello F1 Shorts. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. Heading across the line to start lap 21 as we continue on this race. It's whether he retired because he had a collision, I think, and then, or he spun or something, and then he stayed at the back of the grid for a long while, pretty much the entire race, so that's why. But yeah, Spinala King out of the lead now, and now, once again, Theodore Anderson back into the lead. Tian Boats, by the way, trying to make that move for P3. He's making that move for the podium, still racing side by side, him and Josh on those medium tyres. They are making this battle go for it, and down the inside, Has Tian Boats got it? Yes, he has. He's made that move for P3, and that is a solid podium coming his way at the moment. Continuing their way around. By the way, this group has almost lost DRS to the front two. They've just dropped outside of a second, so they've about just dropped out of it at the moment, which is really worrying, by the way. It's really worrying to be so far behind because it means they're outside of it. Josh now retakes P3, which is rather important. Maslen now up to P10, but teammates are never good in a lead of the fight, especially when a fight for the lead, especially whenever both of them want to win. You know, we've seen it before in real life, F1. You know, we've seen it quite a few times. Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, Spain, 2016. You know, we've seen it multiple times before. And it never seems to really end well. One has to give in, and the other has to push hard. But what we're sort of seeing that in this case, neither of them really want to. And not really saying that's a bad thing, but who knows? Who knows? That it could just be me. Could just be me thinking this, but it never seems to go well. SET Sonic, by the way, getting past his teammate Boats, but he's actually caused contact with Tian Boats, and that's actually caused him to go and drop his teammate down to P6 in the end behind Snoo. Massive mistake to do to his own teammate. A lot of teammates being very aggressive towards each other tonight. I've not seen this recent. You know, this is a very recent thing to see, teammates being so aggressive towards each other. Never really seen it before, but tonight we are seeing it. Theodore Anderson loses the lead once again, Spinala King into the hairpin, which means lap 22 and going on to lap 23 would have been led by the man of Spinala King. Let's see. As the race goes on to the final 5 laps of the race disappearing away very quickly. So I'll remind you just before the race does end and we all forget, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to click on the notification bell to know about all of the content from videos, shorts, streams, everything and anything. Make sure to go and do that. Also, make sure to go and follow us on Twitter. The link is below. Go check out our affiliates, SRC, as well. They can sell you anything from setups, strategies, everything and anything for sim racing, coaching. Go check them out. Also, if you want to see some of the behind the scenes action in FRLT, make sure to go and check the description down below and click on that Discord link and that Discord invite to our server. You'll be able to see a couple more of the behind the scenes action. But as we now continue the race on, Spinala King comes around, still leading for this entire lap, by the way. He hasn't lost the lead yet. Tyres. How are we looking on tyres? Theodore Anderson, the only driver on hards. Everyone else on the medium tyres. The hard tyres, I think, starting to come into their own slightly as we've got a bit of a move going on further back. I think that's Snoo, by the way, down the inside. He's trying to have a battle with Josh. It's getting a little bit racy further back, but now we do have the top 5 all here, and Bourbon Boy is also catching up to this, by the way, so we could actually have a 6-way fight for the win, excluding Sonic's penalty and Josh's. If we exclude the penalties, this is currently a 6-way fight, or at least it is a 4-way fight for the win between some of these drivers. So again, it is going to be an incredibly close race to see. Snoo going for it on Josh, trying to go round the outside. Josh is not getting, he's had a really rough exit there for Josh. Even on the inside of the corner, he's going to use his ERS, but it's not going to be enough because Snoo wants this position. He needs it now. And pushing his way through, Snoo, oh, bit of tyre tangling. And now that's actually allowed Sonic to move back up as a P3 and on to the podium places. But of course, with that penalty, it won't help him. But he's up to P3, and that's exactly what he needed in chasing the lead. This is exactly what I was talking about. SET need this. Josh gets the 10-second time penalty. Whoa! Into the wall! 2 drivers! That is Josh. It's another safety car. Holy. 3 safety cars. I think that was between Josh and Snoo. Josh and Snoo, if I'm correct. I think it's Josh and Snoo that was between. That is holy, but Spinala King continues to lead, and this means people can change to the soft tyres now. Do people want to risk position? Are they going to risk it? Spinala King is willing to risk it, but his teammate Theodore Anderson isn't. Is that a massive fumble? It wasn't Snoo. He span in front of Snoo. Okay. My apologies. I don't mean to, I wasn't saying it was. I'm just trying to know who was in the incident. I'm just trying to know. Theodore Anderson now leads, but this is a massive problem. Also, we're seeing Maslin as well. 2 drivers left out on old, medium, and hard tyres. This is going to be a problem because these guys are coming out on softs. Has Theodore Anderson just screwed up his entire race? It's got me questioning whether he has or he hasn't. It's also allowed Bourbon Boy, by the way. Up to P4 as well. Yago, back up into this race. Yes, I shall show you the tyres, Daniel, because I'm a nice person. It's pretty simple. 2 drivers on hards and mediums, and the rest on softs. The rest are very much on soft tyres. Positions gained, though. I want to talk about... There's a drive-through as well for Maslin, by the way. But positions gained. Maslin up 9, but he does have that drive-through, which, of course, he's going to have to serve. But the most gained so far is Unai Vega, who's up 5 in this race. Josh is down 7. We've got 3 drivers down 3, which is Sonic, Snoo, and Bourbon Boy. But realistically, the biggest gainer from just actual overtakes has been Yago, who's up 3, who could go up another 2 by the end of the race up to 3rd. So it's all up for chance here. It's very much all up for chance. We'll have to see. We'll very much have to see. 3 more drivers to join the back of this. I think we'll be getting racing onto lap 27, I believe. So we'll only have 2 laps of racing. And it is going to be chaos into the final 2 laps. But it gives Theodore Anderson and Maslin 2 laps to defend like crazy. That's all they'll have. It's very limited to what they have. But it's what they're going to have to go with. Let's see. It has been mental action from start to finish here tonight, but I must say it has still been some pretty decent racing all round. Heading round, though, the first sector, it is going quite slow, I must say. The safety car not that fast altogether to get these cars round, taking over 30 seconds to finish the first sector alone. But we'll have to be waiting for about 2 minutes. I think it takes over 2 minutes to get around this track. The safety car, so we'll have to see. Now, again, we see Theodore Anderson leading this race. He's led it for, I don't even know how long. I'll be doing a season total at the end. At the end of season 3, I'll do a total of laps led by teams. And I suspect a huge amount of it will be Theodore Anderson, especially from this race. Now, the safety car is coming in. 2 laps of racing. We're getting racing onto lap 27 of 28. 2 laps. All out chaos. 12 drivers. 2 laps. It's all to play for. Especially for Maslin and Theodore Anderson. It is all to play for. How far down do we think Theodore Anderson will drop? Do we think he'll drop down? Will he win this race? Will we see somebody else? We'll have to see in the next few moments what is going to happen. Heading round slowly. Theodore Anderson really taking it slow again as he comes up to the line. He knows he gets away well. Has he gotten away well, though? Not as well this time, by the way. Spinala King gets a really good getaway. Tian Boats doesn't. And Spinala King's already up into second. Bourbon Boy already up into third. Look at this. Oh, my God. Yago down the inside. He needs to make this move. He's made the move into P4. And now they're all chasing this position. Look at this. Theodore Anderson lets his teammate by. He's going to have Bourbon Boy all over the back of him as well in the next second as well. Down the inside goes Bourbon Boy into the next corner. There's nothing Theodore Anderson can do. He's just going to have to let the drivers go past because of how much faster they are. He's giving Yago a real fight. Oh, and off he goes. Theodore Anderson off the track. The race has fallen apart for TTRE. 2 retirements. And P10 for one of them. It is completely fallen apart, but it is the lead for Spinala King. And it could be a win walking his way, but he has got still to fight Bourbon Boy and Yago. Bourbon Boy was the fastest on the soft tyres in qualifying. And in that qualifying pace, it's what he needs here. He'll have one more lap to get past him. He needs everything he's got. He'll have one shot of DRS, by the way. That's all Bourbon Boy will have is one shot of DRS. Here comes Yago, though, into the hairpin. He wants this P2. He needs this P2. And this is all-out war at the moment between everybody. Yago unable to make the move, but we can still see they're chasing down Spinala King. Spinala King doesn't look fast in the corners. He's set the fastest lap of the race, but he's definitely not faster than Bourbon Boy in the corners because he seems to be struggling in the corners quite a bit. You can just see how much Bourbon Boy seems to close in on Spinala King. This could be a problem for Spinala King. Maslin now retires. Another retirement. XPG suffering their second retirement of the night. But Bourbon Boy is in a fight for the win. And he is chasing down the race leader on lap 28. A late safety car has changed absolutely everything here tonight. But let's see what's going to happen. And who's going to get the best of the rest. Bourbon Boy chasing down. We're going to ride on board for a bit. And now we're going to look from outside. It is very much, I think, a two-way fight. Down to half a second. The gap is flying down. It is absolutely dropping. Like, I don't even know anymore because I can't even think. There is so much action going on. And now, down onto the back straight for one final time. DRS will be enabled. Bourbon Boy has to push everything he's got. Everything he has. Has he got enough? Will he have enough? DRS open. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. He doesn't seem to have enough. Down the inside. Is he going to send it? He's not going to be able to send it. Is he going to push everything he can? But I think we're going to be seeing another TTRE win. A fifth win of the season will come for TTRE here tonight. As Spinala King wins in China. Bourbon Boy catches the fastest lap of the race. And ultimately, I think we know who came out on top here tonight. TTRE dominance, but the dominance I think might have just come to an end. P1 and P10. 19 points scored, by the way, tonight, which is less than XPG and less than SCT. So they're not on top still, but here is the order of the race. Spinala King wins from 4th on the grid. Bourbon Boy might have taken pole, but it is still 2nd place. Yago is 3rd. Snoo 4th. Sonic 5th. Soylek in 6th. Zalix in 7th. Tian Boats in 8th. Theodore Anderson in 9th. Unai Vega in 10th. Josh and Maslin are the last two left, followed by retirements of XPG Sem, Iswooder, OC72 and Pavanir. So ultimately it's 20 points scored for TTRE. 20 points scored tonight, only 20. But it's going to be 16 Bourbon Boys pole, 17 with his fastest lap, top of but none of his teammates got points. So they actually dropped a point to TTRE, but it's SE2, I think, come out on top with 15, 25. I think 25, and then another 5. So 30, 31 points they come out with. So they come out 11 points. So, that is the race over and done. Ah, what an end. But ultimately, this is where I say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching here tonight. Please think about leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Also, click on that notification bell to know about all of our content from streams, videos, and shorts here. Also, down below, go follow us on X or Twitter, either one you want to call. Also, big thanks to our affiliates, SRC. Make sure to go check them out. They can sell you setups, strategies, even coaching. So if you want to get faster at the game, make sure to go and check them out. Well, ultimately, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.